Troy, and it's just the women that are left, you know, and have lost their husbands and lost their sons. And some of them now maybe lose their lives. This is one of the great anti-war plays that was written. There's Aristophanes, who wrote comedies. Lysistrata is a comedy anti-war play. So they're doing a play that still is meaningful today. You know, but they have to be these characters with these names, this kind of dialogue. So I'm really proud that they were able to do this. So enjoy yourself, and we will begin Trojan Women. Thank you.
Gracefully. Goodwill towards this land of Troy has never left my heart. It is smoldering and overrun by Argive spear and in ruin. The Greeks placed a wooden horse to bear within its womb hidden spears. The temples are desolate and overrun with blood. And King Prim lies dead below the altar of Zeus, protector of the hearth. Gold and Trojan spoils are being sent to the ships of the Greeks as they await for a mighty wind to blow them home from them 10 long years at war, to behold with them their wives and children. I'm abandoning Troy and my temples that have been worsened by the goddesses Hera and Athena, who seek to destroy Troy. Where there is the desolation of temples, there is no honor for the gods. I have heard the cries of captive maids as they wait upon their lot for their new masters, and for those who have not been allocated are in these tents. The foremost leaders of this army are here as well. With them, Helen, rightly classed as prisoner. And here lies Hecuba, lying in misery, unaware that her daughter Polyxena has been killed in a pitiable sacrifice at Achilles' tomb. Her husband, Prim, and her sons are no more. As for her daughter, the virgin Cassandra, she is gone mad by Apollo. King Agamemnon will defy the god's will and join her in an unlawful marriage. Farewell, O city, prosperous once.
May I address the mighty God who heaven reveres, in which my own sire is very nigh in blood, laying aside from her enmity?
Thou mayest. For all the ties of kin that seek no feeble spell, great Queen Athene.
And from to seek my mighty age came with one with my own.
Why leavest thou from mood to mood?
Dost thou not know the insults done to me at my shrine?
Insult done.
Surely in the hour that Ajax dragged Cassandra off by force.
And he was neither punished nor reprimanded by the Greeks.
'Twas thine own aid that set Troy.
For which cause I would join with you and do them harm. And their sailing home from Troy, Zeus will send his rain, fearful hail, heat tempest in the sky, and the fire from the thunderbolts. And if you will, make the sea roar with huge waves and whirlpools, and fill the bay with corpses, that the Greeks may learn to reverence my temples and respect all of the gods.
It shall be so. Mount thou, Olympus, take thy father's fire bolts, and go to where the Greek ships are at full sail. A fool is he who sets cities, temples, and tombs, the holy places of the dead. He himself will meet the destruction he has wrought.
unhappy lady, from the ground to the tune of the flute's ill-omened music. This is no longer Troy, and I am no longer Troy's queen. What else but tears is my hapless lot, whose country, children, and husband are all lost. The Greeks came over the purple sea in their quest for the hateful Helen, wife of Menelaus. Murderous is she of my husband Priam, the cause of my wretched state. Here I sit in this ruin, near the tent of Agamemnon, to be led away from my house, a poor slave woman. Oh, the hapless wives of the sons of Troy! Poor maidens, come and weep, for our city is now but a ruin, and I, as a mother bird, shall begin the chanting cry so different from the dance of the days of Priam.
Hey, what mean my words? A petty terror that shoots in the hearts of each Trojan woman who mourns her slavish life.
The Greek oarsmen are already moving towards their ships.
What is their intent? Will they bear us in our sorrow away from our country?
I do not know. I assume it means our ruin.
With trembling steps we leave the tents of Agamemnon to find out our fate. To whom are we given as slaves?
The time is near for our allotment. Whose slave am I to be in my old age? I who once held royal rank in Troy.
Never let us serve Menelaus, husband of Helen, whose hateful hand laid waste to Troy. But mark, here comes the herald from the army of the Greeks.
Hecuba, thou knowest me from my many journeys as a messenger of the Greeks. I am Talithabius. I mean no trouble to thee, lady. I just bring thee news.
Come to me, dear women, it is what I feared and have dreaded.
The fates have the lots have decided your fates. Each warrior took his prize, and not all have been allocated together.
Then tell me, whose prize is my hapless daughter Cassandra?
King Agamemnon to take him for herself in a stealthy union.
The virgin priestess of Apollo, who has sworn a vow of celibacy never to wed?
Love for the friends and maid hath won the king's heart. After all, it is a high honor to win a monarch's love.
And what of Polyxena, my youngest daughter that was taken from me? Is she still alive?
She is minister at Achilles' tomb, a place that would keep her from trouble.
Dead?
Dead.
And what of the wife of my son Hector, Andromache? Declare her fate!
She too was chosen prize by Achilles' son.
And I, whose hair is white with age, whose slave am I to be?
Odysseus, king of Ithaca, hath taken thee to be his slave.
Weep for me, Trojan women, for I am a fallen slave to a treacherous foe and monster, a foul man of trickery who transforms men into hatred of what they once loved. I am victim who has met the unhappiest lot of all.
Thy fate thou knowest, but for us, what masters our destiny?
Ah, slaves! With haste, bring me Cassandra that we may go to our captains, and the rest be brought to their new masters. What is this blaze of fire within? Is it of the women who wish to set themselves aflame? Or do they set themselves aflame because they're longing for death and misery?
'Tis not that they are setting themselves ablaze, that my mad child Cassandra comes rushing hither wildly.
Bring the light you chose today. A shrine of gods to those takers from King of Mercy has to run. Blessed am I to wed princely I honor you with the life. I give life to you, God of courage. Come, mother mine, and go to this. Link thyself with mine now here, now there. Live the bride on her wedding day. Come, leads the dance. Come, ye maids, sing the chorus, marriage of the husband fated I am wed. Come, ye maids, sing my marriage of the husband fated I am thus to wed.
Royal mistress, hold the place maidenly shrine and hands.
My child, how little did I dream of such a marriage for thee. Give up the torch to me. You should not carry it in your frenzy. Take in this torch, and for her wedding magnums weep your tears instead.
Mother, please, the victorious, putting garlands on my head. Rejoice in my marriage to a king, for my union shall be more disastrous than Helen's. Yes, for I shall kill Agamemnon and bring down his house. Your revenge on promise of murder. I shall bring down the house of Atreus. The Greeks in their hunt for Helen lost countless men because of one woman, one love affair. They died unshrouded in foreign land. As for the Trojans, they died in their native land. They were laid to rest by duteous hands. And as for thy son, my brother Hector, he may be dead and gone, but leaves his reputation as a brave
mad. You would not have sent my generals with such ominous predictions forth. You would have paid for such utterances. Yet, King Agamemnon did yield to you, mad maid. Though I am a poor man, I would have never sought to beg you. Still, come with me that we may join in the wedding of our chief, and you shall come later to go to Odysseus.
What a clever fellow, this menial! Already not in hating the servants of kings and governments. You say mother will come to the halls of Odysseus. Apollo says she will die here. Odysseus has no knowledge of the sufferings in store for him. His 10 years at Troy shall seem as gold compared to the next 10 before he reaches his country alone. He will encounter the 70 Cyclops and seers that turns red into swine. He will meet with shipwreck on the salt sea and long for lotus in the sacred chasm of the sun. He will descend to Hades alive, and when he finally arrives home, he will encounter 1,000 troubles. And you will be buried in the dead of night, who thinketh so proudly on thy fortune. And as for me, they will fling my naked corpse across the rocky chasm in the wintry waters for wild beasts to feed on me, hard by my husband too, me the handmaid of Apollo. The honey garlands of the god most dear to me, I tear thee from my body while I am still pure, that the winds may carry them to thee. Where is the ship? Save not time in wanting for a favoring breeze, as doomed thou art to carry from this land one of the 3 avenging Furies.
Furies!
Farewell, mother. Do not shed a tear. Yet a little while I shall join with my father and my brother. Victory shall crown my head amongst the dead when I have overthrown our destroyers, the house of Atreus.
Lieutenant Hecuba, help her under her feet.
Leave me! My troubles might escalate this lowly posture. I was of royal blood and married into a royal house. I was the mother of a race of gallant sons. No Trojan mother nor Greek or barbarian could boast of such sons. I saw my husband Priam butchered on his own hearth and my city captured. My daughters, whom I had raised to marry noble bridegrooms, have been snatched away. Last of all, to crown my miserable life, I shall come to Greece a slave, to watch their gate and bake their bread, me, Hector's mother, and on the ground instead of royal bed will lay down my shrunken limbs with tattered rags about my waist to frame. None of my sons and daughters may come to lift up their mother. Why then raise me up? What hope is left?
Sing, music of Troy, a funeral song accompanied by tears. For now we shall cry a song of Troy, and how it was destroyed by the wooden hands of the Greeks. Trojans embraced the horse's gift. That was their ruin. They dragged it to the stone temple of Queen, and when darkness fell, a bloody cry rang out as Greeks came forth from the wars, and Trojans were slaughtered in their altars and in their beds. Look, Hecuba!
And drawing they advances hither, carved into her throbbing breast, their son Hector's child Astyanax.
Troy is fled. Troy is overthrown.
Come, my husband, come to me.
Hapless wife, thou callest my son who lieth in the tomb.
Being led off his plunder with my son, the noble arts of slavery bought a bitter, bitter change. Death is a fate happier than this life.
Death and life are not the same, my child. The one is annihilation, the other keeps a place of hope.
The dead feel no sorrow and know no grief. Polysena, thy daughter, dead in Achilles' tomb, knows nothing of her misfortunes. But I was a chaste wife in Hector's home. I abode within my home and would not admit the clever gossip that women loved. My reputation could and ever would I keep a silent tongue and modest eye before my lord Hector. My reputation for such things had reached the Greek army, and Achilles' son Peleus would have me for his wife. And I must serve in a house of murderers. If I set aside my love for Hector and open my heart to this new lord, I shall appear a traitress to the dead I hate him, I shall incur my master's displeasure. They say a single night breaks down a woman's distaste for a man's bed. Nay, I do hate the woman who, when she had lost her former lord, transfers her love by marrying another. Oh, Hector mine, in thee I found a husband amply dowered with wisdom, noble birth, and fortune, a brave man and mighty. Thou didst take me from my father's house a spotless bride, but now death hath claimed thee, and I to Greece am soon to sail, a captive doomed to slavery. Surely the death of Paladina is less evil than what I am about to bear. I have not hope, the last resource of every human heart.
Our tragedy is the same.
Our tragedy is the
Our
same.
tragedy is the same.
Cease, my darling child, to speak of my son Hector's fate. No tears of thine shall save him. Honor thy present lord and seduce your husband into loving you. If you do this, thou shalt give pleasure to him and thy friends. And you may bring up this son of my son Hector. His children may found Ilium anew and Troy yet to be established. But our talk must take a different turn as the Greek lackey returns, sent to tell us new designs.
Wife of Hector, best of Troy, do not hate me for the news I bear.
What is it? Take prelude on this evil news.
'Tis thy son. I don't know how to break my news to thee.
Surely not to have a different master of me.
No Greek shall ever lord over him. There are no words to break my sorrow to thee.
I thank thee for thy consideration.
They wish to kill your son! There, that is my hateful news to thee! So spake Odysseus, and all that are assembled, for his word prevails. He says no one shall rear brave Hector's son.
Sorrow, our sufferings are beyond all measure. I pray such counsels prevail to sons of his.
From the battlements of Troy you must keep with a heroic heart, for you are conquered. Do not try to fight this resolve, for your child will not be buried and met with compassion. But if you hold your peace and hold your composure, he will be buried, and you will find favor with the Greeks.
Babe and priceless treasure, thy father's bravery will serve to destroy you. Oh, my faithful wedding bed, how I hope to raise a son to rule over Asia's fruitful fields. A deadly fall from a great height will take thy life and stop thy breath. In vain it seems to be dressed itself deeply, wrapped in swaddling clothes for naught. Oh, embrace thy mother for the last time. Oh, the sweet fragrance of thy skin. Holiness. Why slay this child that has never wronged any? You barbarians! Take him. Carry him away. The gods are destroying us, and we can find no other way to ward off death from this dear belly. Fling my wretched body onto the ships. Yes, I will make a fine marriage. I who have lost my son.
Unhappy Troy, you have lost many men. Because of one woman.
No! Oh, my child, son of my wretched son. Your mother and I are being robbed of thy life. What suffering remains for us to endure?
Hail, sun, thou radiant orb, whose fair light I shall now capture her that was my wife Helen. For I am Menelaus, who hath toiled so hard not to take this woman, but to punish him who from my house stole my wife, traitor to my hospitality. And he has paid the penalty. He and his land have fallen to the Greek spear. Here my wife is numbered with the rest of the women of Troy. I may kill her or spare her life and take her back to the land of Greece. Servant, bring her out here, dragging her by her hair. And when the favorable winds blow towards Hellas, we shall convey her.
Zeus! I offer you my prayer that you dispose of these human affairs according to thy justice.
What is this strange new prayer you offer to the gods?
I thank thee, Menelaus, if thou wilt slay thy wife. Do not look upon her in case she ensnares you with desire. She destroys the town and burns the houses of men. So potent are her spells. We know her well as we are her victims, as art thou.
Menelaus, I know thou hatest me for your attempt to drag me forth brutally, but I must know of the fate you and the Greeks have decided for my life.
They handed you over to me whom thou hast wronged, to be killed.
But my death will be unjust.
I came not to argue, but to slay thee.
Hear her, Menelaus. Let her not die for want of that. And I will answer in opposition. I know of her villainies in Troy, which will ensure her death.
I shall only make this concession because of thy word, not out of consideration for her.
I shall reply to accusations I know thou wilt advance against me. See, she gave birth to this Paris, and Priam brought destruction on Troy when he failed to kill his son after it was prophesied that Paris should bring Troy down. Later, this Paris had to judge the claims of beauty of 3 rival goddesses. Hera promised a power over Europe and Asia if he chose her. Athene offered a command over all Phrygia and the destruction of the Greeks. But Aphrodite spoke in a rapture of my loveliness and promised Paris he should have me. But that was benefit to Greece, as you were not ruled by tyrants nor destroyed by barbarians. But the good fortune of Greece and my beauty proved my ruin. With the love goddess Aphrodite, he came into thy house, and you took leave of your home to the land of Crete. You asked what frantic thought led me to follow a stranger out of thy house, traitorous to my own country and my home. Punish the love goddess. Show thyself mightier than Zeus, who is yet her slave. For I may well be pardoned. Another specious case against me may be that I did not leave when Paris died and journeyed to Hades. But I tried to escape, as the warders on the watchtower did bear witness, for oft they found me stealthily letting myself down the battlements. Then a new husband, Deiphobus, came and seized me and took me to wife against the will of Troy. My lord, how can you justly put me to death, seeing as how my natural gifts have served a bit of slavery?
My royal queen, defend my children and my country. Prove her arguments false, as she pleads well in spite of her villainy.
First, I will take up the cause of the 3 goddesses. I do not believe that Hera and Athene sunk to the depths of such folly for beauty. Hera has won the most wondrous of all husbands, Zeus, and Athene is the virgin goddess not in eager pursuit of beauty. Do not make fools of the gods! What folly was said of Aphrodite coming with Paris into the house of Menelaus? She could have taken you to Troy and stayed in heaven. My son was fair, and when you gazed on him, your mind was possessed by passion, which you blame on Aphrodite. And my son took you by force? What Spartan heard your cry? Then when thou wert come to Troy, and tidings came to thee of Menelaus' victories, thou wouldst praise him and grieve my son. But if Troy prospered, Menelaus was nothing to you. Then you say you stole away, since you were in Troy against your will. Why didst thou not string thyself up in noose, or sharpen sword to take thy life? A noble course for a woman in misery over the loss of her former husband. I advised you and offered to help you take your leave of Troy so we could put an end to fighting with the Greeks. But you would have none of it, since you were living well in the house of Paris and wanted all to serve you. And now you dare to stand under the same sun as your wronged husband, dressed in finery. You should have come in rags, humbling and trembling in terror with thy head shorn. Menelaus, crown Greece with honor by slaying her, and let other women know that whoever betrays a husband must die.
Menelaus, vengeance is yours on your wife. Do not be a coward in the eyes of your sisters, and noble in the sight of your enemies.
Thy thoughts are the same as mine. She left my house on her own accord and sought a stranger's love. Off with her, to the ship and sail. And when she reaches Argos, she will meet with the most wretched death. And let her death requite the toils of the Greeks, and be a lesson to women everywhere on chastity.
Menelaus, I beg thee, I entreat thee.
Oh, never let her set foot on the same ship as thee.
Why? Has she gained weight since I last saw her?
Who loveth once must love always.
That depends on how those we love are minded. But thy wish shall be granted. She shall not sail with me, for thy advice is sound.
On him the sacrifices made to Zeus in vain, the lovely singing of the
heaven where she would be bride to Peleus, son of Achilles. She beseeched them that I bring you this boy so that you may bury him in the earth. You must be quick. I have saved thee labor and washed the wounds in Sacramento stream and cleansed the corpse. Now, I will go dig a hole that I may speed our united efforts towards home.
Oh, Greeks, did you fear this tender babe would rear again the fallen walls of Troy? You have won the battle, and yet you are frightened of this little boy. Oh, my beloved, thine is a piteous death to have never tasted manhood, marriage, and royal power. I cannot conceal the horror of the slaying. Your broken hands, such sweet remembrances of thy father's hands. Thy mouth so full of joyous smiles is frozen now. I had hoped you would marry me one day and address the grave of your grandmother with loving word. But now it is I who will bury you, an old woman who has lost her city and her children. What could a poet write on your grave? The Greeks killed you because they feared you. A shameful epitaph for the Greeks. But you shall have thy father's shield, your heritage. It shall cradle thy body. O shield, thou hast lost Hector, now take his son. Come, bring forth from such stores we have adornment for the hapless dead. You shall be given what I have. Foolish is the mortal who rejoices in his prosperity, for fortune like a madman springs this way, and that no one is ever happy simply in himself.
All is ready in the agreeing at thy bidding this close of Troy to place upon him the dead.
My child, your grandmother adorns thy body. O shield of Hector, accept thy crown. Death cannot touch thee, for thou dost merit immortal honors far beyond those of Odysseus.
The earth will receive you, child, whom you make so bitterly, the song for the dead. Sorrow for your woes that cannot be healed. The earth shall take thee to her breast, and we shall weep for unending sorrow.
Go now and bury him. Grieve as duly as befits a corpse.
Look! Who are those I see on yonder pinnacle with flaming torches in their hands? A new calamity on Troy will soon alight.
Ye captain, watch the flames that are, when we destroyed the city of Ilion, our gladness will be brought upon our homeward voyage towards home. And you, go to the ships of the Greeks.
No! No! Come! Let us rush into the flames! For to die with my city in its blazing ruin were a noble death for me!
Thy sorrows drive thee frantic, poor lady. Go, lead her hence. She is the prize of Odysseus.
No! Langland, nurse, my children, hear me! Listen to your mother's cry! I set my aged bones upon the ground and beat the earth with my two fists! No! I am being dragged off to a house of slavery! Oh, husband Priam, you know nothing of my dreadful fate!
My death shall die, holy and utterly slaughtered. The name of Troy will vanish into oblivion.
I see the crash of the citadel!
The citadel tumbles.
My trembling limbs support my steps! Go forward into the life of slavery!
Our tragedy. Fragile Troy is no more. Fragile Troy is no more. Fragile Troy is no more. Fragile Troy is no more.